In a video uploaded to Threads from one user, a wrestler unfurled a Donald Trump flag. The crowd was less than pleased, yelling F Donald Trump in his direction, along with hurling projectiles onto the ring. Hilariously, this is the same crowd who says keep politics out of sports, and yet look no further than the Ultimate Fighting Championship, which has shown to be Donald Trump's bread and butter sport. Here he was as a candidate in the 2024 election, being walked out by the head man, Dana White himself, Tucker Carlson, formerly of Fox News, Kid Rock, and other deplorables. The league practically gifted their fan base to Trump because,
say what you want about him. The guy saw this thing coming, was into it, and gave us our first shot, and you'll never hear me say anything bad about Trump.
Lovely. From one abuser to another, it does seem as though they do share a lot in common. No wonder White fawns over him. Hey, by the way, RG3 didn't ask a single question on this.
And your San Francisco quarterback, I'm sure nobody ever heard of him. I'm just reporting the news. There was an article today. I love to report the news, and then they said I made a mistake, right? I said, no, the people reporting the news made a mistake if it's wrong. But there was an article today, it was reported, that NFL owners don't want to pick him up because they don't want to get a nasty tweet from Donald Trump. Do you believe that? I just saw that. I said, if I remember that one, I'm going to report it to the people of Kentucky. Because they like it when people actually stand for the American flag, right?
From the president's crusade against Colin Kaepernick.
We believe everyone should stand for the national anthem. That's an important part of our policy. It's also an important part of our game that we all take great pride in. And it's also important for us to honor our flag and to our country. And we think our fans expect us to do that.
You said you want the players to stand, and there's been no change to the game operations manual.
Which led to the NFL capitulating to an authoritarian.
You ask, I'm going to use your words. Who's to blame? Know this. That's the word choice of losers. Let me explain one thing about Texas. And that is, Texas, every square inch of our state cares about football. You could be in Hunt, Texas, Huntsville, Texas, Houston, Texas, any size community, they care about football. High school, Friday night lights, college football, or pro. And know this, every football team makes mistakes. The losing teams are the ones that try to point out who's to blame. The championship teams are the ones that say, don't worry about it, man, we got this. We're going to make sure that we go score again, that we're going to win this game. The way winners talk is not to point fingers. They talk about solutions. What Texas is all about is solutions.
Even fascistic Texas Governor Greg Abbott got in on the action.
All right, we're going to create a new banner. This is a Jumdoc alert. Must they run their mouths like that? This is what happens when you attempt to leave high school a year early to join the NBA. It's always unwise to seek political advice from someone who gets paid $100 million a year to bounce a ball. Shut up and dribble. He's a disruption to the league. It's been a disaster for the NFL, this protest mentality.
A lot of these guys are punks. You got the elite of the elite. You make millions of dollars to play a game, and you're like, can't stand for the national anthem? You got to be kidding me.
Keep them out of that. It's like back of the bus.
No greater hypocrisy could have been on display than this. Laura Ingraham, the host of Fox News, hated Colin Kaepernick and LeBron James using their platforms, but
I will never agree with anybody disrespecting the flag of the United States of America.
He's allowed to have his view about what kneeling and the flag means to him. I mean, he's a person.
Drew Brees doing it, well, total pass. A few things to say on this. First, you went to Brooklyn. I know that a lot of wrestlers are actors and they want to go full heel, but considering that you unfurled this banner, this flag rather, in Brooklyn, New York, of all places, you had to know that people were going to come for you. And they did. They made their voices heard. We had to censor out all the F words. Those were F words. People were throwing projectiles at the wrestler. I feel like he probably, likely, mentally prepared himself for what the backlash would be. Curious to know if it's the character or if it's him. Secondly, there are many wrestlers that you should be fans of. One is Sami Zayn. Dude speaks out all the time. I would love to interview that dude. Secondly, CM Punk. And I'm going to tell you a quick story. CM Punk, when he came back to the United Center, he was making an announcement. And he said, hey, before you leave, grab a free ice cream bar on me. We did a story on this, and that shop in Chicago is called Pretty Cool Ice Cream. They stand up for amazing causes. They are pro-civil rights, pro-human rights, everything. And I have gone and supported them with my money as well. And if you're in the Chicagoland area, you should too. Their ice cream bars are incredible. CM Punk has proven to be the antithesis of, say, a Hulk Hogan, who he even went in an interview when asked about it and said, yeah, I met him. And when the interviewer was like, oh, you don't seem too warm about him, Punk basically said, yeah, I don't like him. That is the sort of wrestlers that I think should be put on a pedestal, because they've proven time and time and time again what they stand for, what they care about, and are basically the antithesis to a Hogan. Also, and the thing that just drives me crazy is on our side of the aisle, and this is for an entire left-wing coalition, I don't believe the majority is saying that you should keep politics out of sports. I guarantee there are some centrists and some libs who are doing that. Nobody is saying that because it would be a violation of free speech. What we're saying is you have the right to do it. We have the right to critique you. While the other side is saying, oh, you're taking a knee? You should be deported. When Kaepernick first took a knee, Donald Trump went on Fox and Friends with Brian Kilmeade and said maybe he should leave the country. Why? Because you disagree with his political opinion? More so human rights opinion. Because he was talking about systemic racism, police brutality, and veterans being taken advantage of within this country. One is acting patriotic, and I know that term has been, completely overtaken. But one is acting patriotic while the other one just wants to alienate everybody. Am I calling for this wrestler to be fired? No. I don't really care. What I'm saying is you went into Brooklyn and you unfurled a Trump flag. You had to know what was happening. But amongst the right, the majority will say that politics and sports should be separate, while they applaud Donald Trump injecting himself by putting forth policies in sports. It's beyond hypocritical. It leaves me feeling like they just can't see it at all times. Yeah, blind as a bat.